Oh, going live. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome. Joining me today is Emily Wang. Uh, Today we're gonna continue building up the AI capacity of our game. Now we have a name for it. It's called Echoes of Sentience. Echoes of Sentience. I thought that's a pretty cool name.
Yeah, very cool.
All right, it stands for because we're sort of building this fragmented sentient existence, sort of like the preamble of the Matrix in a way. Like they have a little bit of a conscious about their surrounding. Everything's only text based because LLM, but there's certain like sparks of intelligence happening in the realm. And by the way, we call our little world currently, we just call it limbo, as in uh, the limbo in the divine comedy, because there's nothing there right now. Like it's sort of in a sort of limbo state. Is it heaven? Is it hell? Is it something else? Is it some otherworldly surrounding? We have no idea. It's up to us to build actually, or it is up to a godlike LLM to eventually create and sort of fulfill exactly what it looks like in the future.
That sounds very philosophical. Is it even real or is it just something in our head?
Exactly. What is real? What is
Oh
real?
man, Skynet.
How do you define real? What is real? I think it's a quote from the Matrix. What is real? How do you define real?
Yeah.
Anyways, just to give you a quick recap of what we have right now, we do have this guy, uh, our main character, little gray guy, and then in here we have the yellow guy, which is the NPC. Oh, by the way, I changed this a little bit so the NPC always faces the main player, just to make it more realistic. That's all we have. Like it's a React 3 fiber based game. It's not really a game, it's a prototype. And all they do right now is talk back and forth. Um, these two characters essentially are conversing, but not in a very intelligent manner because they only remember the previous, the last sentence of what the other person have just said. So if you observe carefully, you realize that it's sort of like a bubbly, cheerful conversation because we made a prompt to be so. Our prompt instructed to be so, but it's going nowhere. They just keep saying thank you and appreciation to each other and just be nice to each other. So today we're gonna change that. We're gonna give them the ability to have a more meaningful conversation, and in order to enable it, the key, we believe, is to introduce memory so that they can sort of remember what was just said. And in the sense of LLM, in the prompt of the LLM, concretely, uh, the next response it generates is aware of the entire context of the conversation, or in other words, the entire history of the conversation.
That's
Um,
cool.
yes. So let me. Okay, so this thing's just gonna keep going forever. So, but let's just go right back into the code and just do a little recap on what we have done. Emily, I think you wrote this piece, right?
Index, yes. That was from our very first session, I believe.
Oh, okay. So I think the bulk of the logic is actually in conversation worker.
Yeah, conversation workers.
Okay. So I guess why don't you just give a little bit like a recap of what is happening here?
Yeah, so essentially, you have two workers, one representing the player, one generating the response for NPC player. So each player essentially have very similar logic other than their prompt and worker name. So input output wise, they're totally the same to keep it simple. It's essentially a simple string representing the content of the response and whatever they heard from the other player. If we take a look at the workflow, this is where we stopped at last time. So initially, the dummy implementation would be you try to run a for loop and then they each feed into each other. But actually, a much better and a much simpler way to implement this would be through workflow. So as you can see here, all we did was connecting the two worker spec from each other and to each other. So you have the connections where it's coming from the player to the NPC, and then you also have the connection where it's coming from NPC to the player. That essentially formed a closed loop where they can keep talking to each other. As you can see in the terminal underneath, they just keep talking to each other, and all of that was done through connections without a single for loop that you have to define. So that was
Okay.
really cool.
So what about exposure? Like how would you
Yeah,
how do you explain the exposure here?
yeah. In terms of exposures, so once we define this kind of circular workflow, you also need a way to somehow extract the input output coming from and to each of the worker. So if you don't use expose, everything will be contained within the workflow. There is no information leak from the workflow if you don't do the exposure, meaning that if you don't specifically specify what you want to expose to front end, then there is no way to extract the input output from this workflow. But if we do add, for example, exposing the input of player worker spec as player input tag, then by this tag, I can feed input into the player worker spec in the front end. Similarly, if we expose the output of NPC worker as NPC talk, then that's how we're exposing the response from the NPC talk to display that in the speech bubble in the front end.
Okay, cool. That sounds good. So in other words, it's workflow is essentially, in other words, is a group of orchestrated worker.
Yes.
They sort of they're interconnected to each other via what the concept, like what we call streams. They're actually in the actual like computer science sense of the stream, as in
Mhm.
Redis stream. Actually, the underlying implementation is what's in Redis. You can subscribe to it, but only one source. The way we design it is there's only one source that I can publish to it. So stream is a single publisher, multiple subscriber kind of model. Um, in most cases, and then what we're exposing here would essentially we call it input output here, but they're basically just streams of data. These are just like the streams that we gave name to. Streams, and there is also some kind of hierarchy in here because it's a group of worker. So on top of this group of worker, there's another overarching worker which is called a workflow, and then the workflow can expose the input and output of its children, right? I guess that's another way of describing it.
Children or I guess by children, what are you trying to say here?
Like a hierarchy, sort of. The parent workflow is, you can regard it from the outside. You wouldn't know that it consists of multiple workers
Yeah.
if nothing is exposed from the outside. It just looks like a regular worker,
Okay.
a regular spec. But then as you start exposing stuff, you can, it sort of piercing hole into these workers, so stuff can go in and come out.
True, true. I guess it's like that kids toy box where they have triangles or circles or squares on the top,
Yeah.
where you can basically feed a block through the corresponding shape or somehow extract a block through the corresponding shape.
Okay, sounds good. So today we're going to improve on that and introduce memory. Right, that's our goal today. So looking at this, we never really, we haven't talked about how we're going to build memory. So I was talking to Emily offline just now, and we sort of came to the conclusion that memory is strictly driven. Memory is mostly driven by functions. In other words, the kind of features you want to achieve shapes how memory works, essentially. So today, our goal is not super ambitious. We just want them not to have this kind of fisheye memory of, goldfish memory, and just give them a longer context. That's all we want to achieve today. So in order to do that, number one, the first thing, the other thing, I think I'm jumping a little bit here, but this is the prompt that we have right now. Let's like just quickly examine the prompt that we have for number one, the player, again, which is the gray little man, and the NPC, which is the yellow little man. As of now, we call them player and NPC, but really one you can control is what its orientation and speed and walking and its action with a joystick, and the other you can't. That's really the difference between the two. But conversation-wise, they're super similar. They're controlled by a prompt. All of their conversation came out from a prompt. Each of them have a different prompt, but they're super similar. So for the prompt of the player, it essentially says you're a game player. You will receive an input prompt, and you need to respond to it. Keep a response under 20 words. If you think the conversation is going nowhere, you can reply quit to end the conversation. And input prompt. This input prompt comes from the previous, the last sentence from the other player. Like as you can see, we have sort of this kind of sort of circular double snake kind of configuration. And then in here, this is how it plays out. The output of the NPC, each output of the NPC goes into the input of the player, and vice versa. Okay. The other thing I want to mention, by the way, is the fact that all of our workers are by default long running. I mean conceptually long running, in the sense that they occupy a state in the memory, and they just continuously take in input from a stream, from their input stream, and then continuously emit output. The way this is sort of a feature of Livestack. This is how we designed it, so that they can accommodate real-time live applications. I think that this sort of configuration is somewhat different from existing frameworks, similar frameworks like LangChain or Llama Index. We're fully real-time and we're fully stream-based, and we can process each of the workers by default are capable of processing long-running streams. So our data model and is different in that regard. And then, so as you can see, so in order to achieve that, there's got to be some loop somewhere. So this is our loop. We're using a very similar to to other frameworks, we're using async iterator from JavaScript, from the latest versions, the more recent versions of JavaScript, to continuously get data from here, from a stream, and process them, and accordingly we have a output. The other thing I just want to quickly mention is that you can probably guess that you do not have to have one-to-one correspondence between input and output. That's another distinguishing feature between us and other frameworks. You could take in multiple inputs, accumulate them, think of sentence splitter and all that, and then spit out the output in the end. Or inversely, I guess, if you can take a super large input and chop them up and output like more and produce more outputs than inputs. So you have that kind of flexibility. But in here, we have one-to-one correspondence as of now. You get an input, you call the Ollama. We're using Ollama as a backend because we want you to run this fully locally. You call Ollama. I believe we're using Mistral 7B or 13B on my local computer. And then in the end, you just output the response. It's super, super simple. Input in, output out. Okay. Now, how do we, I guess my next question is how, given what all we've just said, I want to achieve like piecemeal achieve our goal today. So if I want to introduce just maybe 2 previous history, let's do step by step, even though it's a little bit of waste of code, but let's just helps our thinking. What if I want instead of the last one conversation, last one sentence that the other player has said, I want 2. In other words, I want to know what the player just said and what I said before the player just said. Like, how do I achieve that?
Not sure if I'm jumping straight to implementation, but I'm guessing after that for await const data of input, after you get the latest input, you might also want to define a separate variable where it's keeping track of the last.
Okay. So okay, let me try. Just define something super silly like let what I said. How about this?
Yep.
And then I guess in here
I guess even in your prompt, you can probably supply what I said last time as well.
Okay, so in here I record what I said last time before I emit. So maybe I need to change this little bit here. We see a conversation. Maybe instead of input prompt, now I need to change this to conversation history.
Actually, just a quick question. Do you only want to record what I said last time, or do you want to record what I got last time as well?
But I think this data is what you get last time, no?
This data is what the NPC said.
Oh, so you want to go even further?
Might as well. Like, you can just define an object, let conversation last time equals square bracket player string, okay. NPC string.
Okay. Before I do that though, because I was trying to make a point. I was actually trying to just experiment a little bit, just a tiny bit to see.
Makes sense.
Each of them have just one more entry in the memory, like Let's just quickly observe if it's gonna get any better.
Yeah, that's a
Okay,
good point.
I'm just curious. Okay, then we're gonna do like what he said. So, I guess back to this. Should I change this to conversation history?
You will receive a yes.
All right. Then in here, I do conversation history. Do something like this. And then me. How about this? What I said last time.
Yeah.
And I just hard coded NPC data.
Yep.
Should I add like a ellipsis like this?
Sure.
Okay. And okay, likewise, I'm gonna do the same thing with the NPC. Okay. Oh, what I said. Like, how is the prompt different from the NPC prompt different from the? Oh, you're a non-player character. Okay, I see.
Yeah. So it would just be me colon player colon. So just change NPC to player.
Are you a human player?
Sure.
Okay.
You will receive a conversation history.
All right. And then, oh, by the way, why do we have this here?
Just an ending condition. It's a dummy condition where it was saying if you see on line 48, if you think the conversation's going nowhere, you can reply quit. But then
Oh, I see.
in the NPC worker, the prompt also says responding a way to keep the conversation going.
So the NPC obviously try to keep the conversation going, but the player can end it if he deems it meaningless.
Yeah, true. But I guess they're just too polite to call it a day.
Has it ever worked?
Nope.
Okay.
It is working from the NPC perspective. He did keep the conversation going. That's why the player never decided to quit.
Okay. Maybe you should say like if you think this conversation is boring or something like that, you can reply.
Sure.
Okay, just kidding. Okay, let's try this. Okay, let's just sort of silently observe if the conversation is sort of less bubbly and is slightly more meaningful now. Yellow. Okay. I'm running my local Mac M1. Hello there. Okay, I can. Nice to see you again. How can I assist you today? Oh yeah, it sounds like it. Please. I'd like some information about the new game features, please. I'd be happy to help the latest game features and features. Let me guide you through them. Great. Let's get started with the new features. Which one would you like to learn about first? What? Let's begin with the new.
Wait. Why is it?
Why was the flip script? Yeah. Why was the script flipped?
Gathering wood and stone. Okay. Agree. Let's collect.
He's just echoing what he's saying. Let's head to the nearby forest quarry, then we can get resources efficiently there. Sounds good. Let's go to the forest and the quarry together. Let's set off towards the forest and the quarry right away to gather resources efficiently. Great. Let's head to the forest and the quarry now. Let's go. I'll lead the way to the forest and the quarry. Let's follow you there. Looking forward to exploring the forest and quarry. Great. Let's.
Oh man. I don't see any significant enhancement, to be honest.
Wait, but let's take a step back. Like even if they have the complete history, will this? Why do they do this?
I guess they don't really know. They don't really have a goal, I guess.
Is it because of the shortness of the history, or is it because we don't know? Right.
It could be. I guess in the prompt we can also set don't keep repeating yourselves.
Okay. Let's try quickly and see what happens. But yeah.
Contribute meaningful new information.
How about this?
Yep.
Sorry, what did you say? Contribute meaningful?
I guess, yeah, just contribute, add something new to the conversation.
How about that?
Sure.
Hello there. I see you're full of energy today. What brings you here? I'm always full of energy for a new adventure NPC. Today, I seek knowledge and the treasure. Adventure with thirst for knowledge and treasure. Come, let me guide you to the ancient ruins. Let's set off on our journey right away, NPC. Your guidance will be invaluable on this quest for wisdom and wealth. Delighted to accompany you, traveler. Let's embark on this exciting adventure together. The ruins hold many secrets, but be aware the danger may lie ahead. Okay.
I think it's definitely better than last time.
You think so?
Yeah.
I just think it's more wordy though.
I mean, at least I tried to paraphrase.
Okay, still going nowhere. All right.
I still think they need a purpose or some sort of goal.
Correct.
That's what everybody needs in life.
Okay. Now let's just follow through the experiment. Okay.
Okay.
Now let's add maybe the recent 5 to 10 conversation history.
Yep.
Okay, let's do that. So instead of this, now I'm gonna make a array like that. Okay. And then in here, I'm going to just do something like this. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay. So data and I think I need to do
Yeah, you have to
NPC
specify.
data.
Yes.
And then in here, I do And just to limit, it's how do you slice a array? Slice?
Yeah, it's just slice. If you want to do the last 5 elements, then
Okay, let's try 5.
I think this way you're doing the first 5 elements. Unless push is pushing.
Oh, right. How do I do the last 5?
History.length. You'll still have to do slice. I don't think JavaScript has the square bracket. -5, and then history.length.
You don't have to specify the other one, right? But then it's going to.
Oh, yeah,
right?
probably.
I hope this works. Okay.
Let me just leave ChatGPT.
This. I don't think I need ChatGPT. I need I have a new friend.
Either?
No. His name is Copilot.
Right. Oh, actually, I was wrong. You can just do a slice -5, and
Okay.
that would be it.
Let me. I'll let Copilot handle it, my new friend. Okay.
Aw, your old friend is sad. Although I do hear people.
Oh, it did exactly what you said.
Yeah. I also hear people saying after they tried out Cloud 3, they decided to cancel ChatGPT subscription.
Wait. Can you say that again? I didn't get
it. Cloud 3 from Anthropic. People were saying it's so much better than ChatGPT.
Correct. Which is not available in Canada right now.
Oh no.
And what did they do?
They just canceled the $20 per month.
That's what I expected. Yes.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm thinking the same myself.
Okay.
It just doesn't feel as helpful as before now.
Wow. Then we're gonna use. You're gonna use Cloud, but Cloud is not available in Canada.
Probably Copilot, your new friend, becomes my new
friend.
friend.
Did you know that you can use GPT-4 for free if you download the Bing or whatever app?
Oh, really? But you have to download Bing. I don't want to use Bing.
It's actually pretty good. It's consumer oriented, but
it's Bing.
It's sort of you use ChatGPT-4 for free through Microsoft's subsidy, in a way. I think Microsoft kind of paid for it.
Okay.
Anyways, push NPC, human player, NPC. All right. How about I do this?
Yes. Did you do
actually just quickly sanity check this and just to make sure this actually works? I trust it works.
I think it will work.
All right, yellow.
Do you have to refresh the page? Okay.
I didn't. Let's see. How's your day going? I've got some interesting news to share if you are interested. That sounds intriguing. Do tell. What's this news about? I've discovered hidden treasure map in the old library. Shall we go and search for it together? Let's embark on this adventure. But remember, treasure maps often leads to unexpected challenges. Agreed. Let's prepare well and be ready for any surprises the map may lead to us. Exciting times ahead. Let's pack some supplies and set off on our treasure hunt. Who knows what secret the map holds? Let's make a list of necessary supplies. Okay, preparing. Great, let's not forget a compass and a water bottle for the journey ahead. Yeah, that's actually not bad.
Yeah. It's definitely getting better.
Absolutely. I can see a game like if there's a compass lying around.
Yeah.
We should also bring a map, food rations, and first, let's not. Oh, Jesus, this just goes forever.
But now they're really able to contribute new information now.
Insect repellent. Flashlight. I think they really need the vision to realize this is probably like sort of the fantasy medieval times.
Probably. Again, you will have to provide an overall, I guess, settings.
Binocular.
Oh man.
Portable radio. Additionally, okay. Oh my god. Sunscreen. Oh my god.
Jeez.
Why? I see now why. You can sort of imagine, like, say, if the prompt of your past 5 prompts are all about preparation, it is natural for the conversation to keep going, keep adding to the list.
Oh.
Right?
Oh my gosh, eventually they're gonna pack a whole country with them.
First aid, okay. They're just brainstorming at this point. I think this is a time to actually introduce this. Probably this is why we need to introduce this sort of god, like, overarching thought figure.
Yeah.
There's no direction. They need a CEO.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay, let's just keep, like, maybe wait for 3 more turns and kill this. Is it still running?
Oh man, are they going to Home Depot?
Let's not forget insect. Yeah, you said that. Oh, I think they've started to forget.
The last 5 run. Oh, insect repellent comes up again.
First aid, yeah. Yep. Oh, by the way, we do definitely, we want to prepare you, like, we want to provide with you the tools to debug this, like, in a more visual manner. Okay, so I myself, for one, I want to see the full history of what happened. What's the input? What's the output? For each step, despite the fact that this is actually a stream-based, like a stateful stream-based system, we're still building some kind of tool for you to inspect, like, all the conversation history, so that you know exactly what prompt was used in each of these steps. Yeah, that was my.
Oh, I was hoping you were gonna introduce the graph feature.
It's not quite ready yet.
Okay, not even a sneak peek.
It looks terrible right now. I can show you the graph. It's terrible.
Okay.
It looks horrible, ugly.
This is not that bad. As a first draft, this is amazing.
Yeah, we'll talk about this later. Like, we'll talk about it when it's ready.
Okay.
Don't want to give out too much right now. Okay, I think they can't get off the sunscreen and insect repellent, so we're just gonna reusable water bottle with a built-in filter. I'm learning so much.
That's fancy. And what kind of water bottle is not reusable?
Whew, okay. I suppose, like, changing this from -5 to 10 wouldn't help that much. Do you even want to run it?
Not worth it. I
Okay.
mean, if you change it to 10, they'll just repeating the insect.
Yeah, even a longer list of items.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, maybe they run out of things to say. They're like, they may eventually realize, oh, maybe it's time to move on. Something like that. I don't know. But with that said, offline we discussed about the fact that even for even longer history, because of the limitation of context window, we cannot just keep the entire history from the beginning of time. At a certain point, we gotta compress the memory in the sense that we gotta sort of summarize what was said previously and inject that instead of the full history all the way back to like 1874, right? So should we implement that, or should we look at something else? What do you think?
Oh, we can do that. While we're on the topic of memory, might as well finish it.
That's true. All right. So for that, we need to start introducing, I guess, summarization.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the time to introduce more workers here, right?
I believe so.
Okay, so how do we design this? Like, if I can draw this, that'd be ideal. But I can't. Let's think through this. Okay, let me just open up like a notepad here. We have NPC. Right now we have a stream player. Probably not the best way to do this, but NPC output. And then it sort of goes like this, right?
Yep.
Now, and sort of it goes like this, right? But it's in a sort of infinite loop. Now each of them needs a summary component, or from their input. So for the NPC worker, okay, for completeness sake, okay, let me just repeat the streaming here. For completeness sake, the player takes the only input right now the player takes is the NPC output. But now we need 2 inputs. Is that correct? Some kind of summarization of history.
Let's call it summary worker. So basically, summary worker will be taking. So who is summary worker taking input from, though? From NPC or from the player?
Okay. My brain's not working on it. Okay. Okay. Let's do step by step. So summarization. Another related question is that do we actually need different summaries for NPC and player? Do we actually need that?
I don't think so. One summary is enough.
So summary worker. We're sort of doing the LLMs thing, which like let's think step by step. Okay. All right. Summary worker produces summarization, and its input is past 10 and past in conversation history. I think, do we actually need the previous summary as well?
I believe so, yeah. The summary should be, I don't know, hierarchical, recursive. What do you call it? Yeah.
Okay, so it needs to be recursive in that sense. Okay. Oh, this is new. How do we deal with this? Oh, yeah. Previous summary, you can just store them somewhere in memory.
Yeah, in the summary worker.
But then pass in conversation history. So right now we're accumulating this history in memory, right?
True.
I believe it's a high time to sort of maybe introduce another worker, which is history keeper.
Actually, before you do that, I was actually thinking NPC and player can just push their or emit their output to the summary worker.
But so, we don't want repeated data. We don't want the data to repeat themselves.
What do you mean by repeating themselves? If they're just emitting the latest output to the summary worker, then where's the repetition happening?
Okay, so sorry. So you were saying MPC emits the output into the summary worker?
Yes, both to the player worker and the summary worker.
Yeah, but there's another thing I try to tackle here right now, which is we already have some kind of repeated information in here, like this. We're building out a history here, and we're building out a history in here as well, which is repetitive.
I'm wondering if the history you're building in individual character worker can just be the last 5, for example. You don't have to keep the full history. Full history is the job of the summary worker. Here, you just need to keep maybe.
But is history? I see. So we don't really, because okay. Let me ask you a separate, in a different way. Do we need a summary worker? One summary worker is enough, or do we need a record keeper and a summary worker? One just faithfully writes down everything, sort of like a note taker. The other one takes what the note taker did and does some kind of summarization. Do we need that?
I want to keep it in one worker for now.
Okay, let's try this. Yeah, I guess that's clear enough. So let's just try to build up our summary worker right now. Okay.
Yep. And your new friend can do the coding.
Oh my god. Okay. Oh, actually, true. It might as well just do the job. Jeez. But in the least, let's help it define the worker. Okay. Define.
Agree.
All right. Summary worker. What is its input? So it has.
Should it be
two inputs?
Yeah. I think it might have to do like z.object.
Why is that?
So are you doing 2 streams or the same stream with the same?
I think this is just connect to whatever this output is. So if this is a string, this is also a string.
I think the way you're defining it right now, you're defining 2 input streams. Or do you want one stream with different input types?
But how you do want to connect whatever is produced from NPC and worker and player worker to this, right?
I guess you can do an object where role equals NPC or player, and then the content being the string.
But then you also need to add some kind of transformation to that.
Oh,
right? Which I don't think is necessary. You can do that, but
do this.
Right. Okay. And then the summary we produce is okay. I guess this is slightly involved. So let me think about this. I think it's more nuanced than this. In order for summary worker to serve both NPC and the player.
Okay.
NPC worker and the player worker. So the NPC worker's input also needs to change. So it needs to change into 2. Oh, wait, actually it does.
Technically, for the summary worker, it can just send a string into the default stream, but that might be hard to distinguish.
Right, and is it outputting too frequently? Like, what's the frequency of the summarization? Like, does it summarize every single time something comes
No,
in, or is
maybe
something in a period?
5 rounds of conversation.
All right, if 5 rounds.
So most likely you'll have a tracker somehow and then have a for loop inside of summary worker.
But if it's last 5, you still gotta summarize every single time something new comes in.
Do you have to do that or just?
Okay, let's do a mental simulation here. So
Yeah.
So the summary, like right now, the first time NPC player says yellow. NPC, hi, blah blah blah. Player, how are you? Oh, thank you. Oh wow, this is amazing. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now reach 5. Okay. So on the 6th one, what do I do on the 6th one? So NPC go. I need to remove this entry here.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So and replace it with summary. Now I need to read the summary. So in here, I need to do a summarization. We'll say the right. Then I keep going. This is my question. So right now, I'm at 6 again. So do I fold this, and I take these two, I make a new summary, or do I just wait, just keep waiting for a little bit, and accumulate maybe a few more lines?
Actually, I was thinking a different way. So basically, at the 6th, you trigger a summary of the first 5 conversations. So basically, the summary will not be generated on every single response starting from 6th. It will basically be generated on 6th, 11th, 16th, 21st, something like that.
Okay, let's just say on the 6th, everything got flushed out and it becomes this. Like that. And then on the 7th, you just keep appending it. Until you reach the threshold and you flush out again. Like that, right?
Yes.
So
either you do it in block or you do it continuously.
So at a certain point, you are, how should I describe it? I think if you do that way, a certain point, like there are periods where, because the whole thing is so highly compressed.
To mitigate that, remember we're still tracking the last 5 conversation in each worker. I think maybe we have to combine the high-level summary with the last 5. So we're still saving the last 5, but the summary it's generated based on the past 10 to the summary is generated based on all the historical conversations before the past 5. Would that?
But isn't that, like, say if you're here and then you are at the 5th, you are at the 6th, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, which means the 5th is gone.
So at the
first
point of 6, you don't have the summary yet.
But this is basically a repetition of what this is.
No. So at 6, you don't have the summary, but at the 11th, your summary will contain 0 to 5, and your most recent conversations will contain 6 to 10. So the summary starts generating on the 11th conversation, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but then my question is like, doesn't that... Okay, let's do the emulation. My brain's not quite working. Or do you want to explain a little bit, like, if you think if you share a screen, you can explain better?
It's easier if we draw it somehow.
My brain's totally not working right now. What's a good draw app? Miro, of course. Miro, yes. Let me share you with the link.
Okay.
All right. Oh God. Oh.
Can't you just do continue? Oh.
Right. You are right. Oh, I gotta send you this invite link here.
Cool. All right.
Okay.
Give me 1 sec. I'll have to verify my account and blah, blah, blah. 460972. Alrighty. I think I'll have to go into your link again. Wait, what you shared is a dashboard.
Okay, let me try to share this thing here.
Is it brainstorming?
Okay, yeah, I think it's giving me a different link.
Okay.
All right, Yuri. Okay, I see you.
Oh, nice. Okay.
All right.
Cool. Let me just clean up my windows a bit. Cool. Let's see. So let's say we...
I'm pretty sure there's got to be some pattern in Llama Index or LangChain that does this exactly, but I just want to do it from scratch so that we'll understand it better.
MPC combo 1, and then player combo 2, MPC combo 3, player combo 4, MPC combo 5.
Yep.
So at this point in time, after combo 5, MPC worker accumulated. Why is this so big? Accumulated 1, 2, 3. 3 history. Player worker accumulated 2 history. So what they want to do is to, so at this point, should they be, by the way, after each response, they're sending their response to the summary worker, right?
After each response, they're sending the response to the summary worker. Correct.
Okay.
You can do that. Yes.
The worker. So summary worker will essentially have all these. Let me just make them. Okay, summary worker has all these. And then at this point, it can generate a summary. Generate summary based on combo 1 to 5. So once we have this, we can have NPC worker receives summary 1, player worker receives summary 1. So now this is the tricky part. Now each worker has the summary and the combos. Should they be flushing their individual memory, or should they keep their individual memory?
I mean, in the new setup, I don't think neither NPC nor player needs to keep any kind of memory. All memory goes to summary worker.
Okay. Cool. So basically, this is a lie. NPC worker does not. Let's just put notes here. NPC and player worker does not accumulate history locally.
All right.
Now, so after they receive the response from the summary worker, this would mean next combo with summary 1 available to both NPC worker and player worker. Next, Ollama call from NPC worker would be const prompt equals something that includes a summary, and the immediate and the input data.
Input. Wait, what? Okay. I think. By the way, I want to point out in this new setup, I don't think necessarily NPC and the player needs to connect their input and output to each other anymore.
Why not?
It's just not necessary because you can get everything, all the information you need from summary, because summary has all the information it is keeping. Sort of like an interchange in the middle. It don't have to have so many connections anymore.
So basically, instead of having this circle where NPC connects to player, player connects to NPC,
Yeah, that can be broken.
it will be NPC connects to summary worker to player to summary worker to NPC.
NPC connects to summary worker, which outputs feeds to player.
So current
right.
NPC player. Now future would be NPC receives input, emit output to summary worker. This tool is stupid.
Summary worker has two inputs.
The new NPC receives input, emits.
Yeah, I can sort of. Okay, let me draw this like to see if that makes sense. So you have summary worker in the middle.
Okay.
Takes two inputs. And here's your NPC worker, and here's your player worker. NPCs hook to here, players output hook to here, and summary workers output, it goes both ways. It goes both back to NPC, and the same output goes back to.
Yeah, I see your point. Yeah, that's basically what I was talking. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That could work.
Yeah, I think that's cleaner.
Yeah, that's definitely cleaner.
But then back to this. I was just thinking as you were typing, we could do it like a quick and dirty one where I guess the guarantee here is just that one guarantee is that you don't want this conversation history to be too short.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So
true.
That's the only guarantee. You want this to be at least 5 unless the entire number of history is less than 5. In that case, you don't even need a summary.
Yes.
So
basically, summary worker manages all. We don't have to split up the history management across summary worker and the individual worker.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. This is cleaner.
Okay. Then the question then is, at what point do you actually do a flush? In other words, do a trigger summarization. You don't want to trigger it for every input.
Is that even necessary? For if you want to do it for every input, that means in order to generate a response, you make 2 Ollama calls.
Why 2?
1 to generate input, 1 to generate response.
I think 3. Oh, or I mean for either NPC or
yeah.
But yeah, right. That's too much.
Yeah, so maybe just do it every 5 whenever the array reaches 5 or 10.
All right. How about you allow the maximum number of history to be 10?
Okay.
But then if you actually reach 10, you just take the oldest 5 and fold that into the summary.
Okay. Yeah, I think
that's like you have a minimum and have maximum. So you just, and then maybe the next one you have 6, but it's okay. You still got a previous 5.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking initially.
Oh, that's what you say. Okay.
Yeah, I think this makes sense.
All right, cool. So let's just the next thing, just try to sort of get the Copilot to do the work for us. Okay, what do we do? All right, I was looking at the wrong screen. Okay, all right, back to this. Okay, so now we have a good blueprint. So the input these two things, in player, NPC player. I think the shape of the output needs to change a little bit. It needs to be changed to oh, thank you. That's great. Wow. All right, this is what we need, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we have summary. We still have recent history. Okay, let me just be more precise. Make this more precise. This is its output. And the input is this and this. Just like that.
Just like that.
Okay. And I'm surprised that I haven't seen an error. It's supposed to give me error now. How come I haven't seen anywhere?
1 sec, scroll back up.
Oh, yeah. It is properly parsing the data type. Yeah.
So summary spec NPC. Never mind. Okay.
All right. Okay. So we need to change this. So now data becomes
summary and recent history.
Yeah, we don't need this anymore. We don't need that. And then summary of past conversation. And here we give it summary. Recent. Like that.
Nice.
Just to be sure. Okay, here. And then we made the output. Oh, okay. That's not too bad.
Actually, when you emit the output, is it just a simple? Yeah, it is a simple emit. Okay.
And then in here, you sort of do the same thing.
You can probably remove all those history keeping as well. Oh, okay, you've already done it.
Sorry?
The history keeping from the NPC worker, you can remove.
Oh, yeah. I got rid of that. Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Just to add things a little bit here. Yeah, by the way, you can just uncomment grok here and just try
nice.
grok.
Okay.
It's super fast until you got rate limited. It's so fast. It's amazing. Okay. All right. Now we need. Oh, wow. You want to do the whole thing for me? Oh, wow. Okay. What the hell? Yeah. This is not quite right. Okay. So this we need a little bit of manual handling. I think what I'm gonna do. I think what I'm gonna do here is so we have NPC. I'll have another input called NPC player. And each of them I can have next value. Right. Let me try to do.
I think you still need 2 for loops.
Or I can try to do this.
Is it promised or race? Can it keep executing?
No, I still need a for structure. But
okay. Cool.
Wow. True. Okay, I'm gonna worry about terminating condition a little bit. But then for now, Is this readable?
Yes.
So I have this. All right. Yeah. It's cursor based, so it's not gonna miss any value. That I'm almost certain. So I was worried about missing value, but I don't think that's gonna happen. So if you don't take any value from here, if you don't call the next value, there's a cursor that keeps track of where things went.
Okay.
Okay, so I think this should work. And then
so every loop, it's calling both input stream, correct?
if not value, sorry, let me finish this.
Yeah.
Break. Sorry, you were saying.
If so basically during every while true loop, you're calling both input streams.
Yeah, I guess you could say that, but or you could say you're just waiting on both.
Okay. Yeah.
See which one comes first. It's not quite necessary because, but I don't want to work too much assumption into it.
Yeah.
I just want to keep it flexible enough. And then, what do you do next?
So this is where you'll have to start accumulating the maximum minimum history. Yes.
I have to keep this recent history here. So the first thing I do is I push it to the history.
Yes.
I have to do it after this. Yeah. Oh, actually, I just realized that because this is a sort of the subjective view of this, so there's no you and me here. So I probably need to change the prompt a little bit.
The emit.
I need to change it to sort of a third person objective point of view.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe that. Okay, we'll give it a try. Okay, so you have NPC, you have human player, and then I'm pushing a little bit of history in here. Oh wow, cool. Okay, now, and I also need this.
Yes.
Just okay. Just this is for myself, just in case I come back and look at this code like maybe 2 years later. All right. Now, what we talk about, we say if keep accumulating the history until it reaches oh my god, he reads me. Then take the most
Least the oldest.
And all right. The reason I write that, you know why I did right? Because I don't want to write it myself.
Very nice.
Okay, but we always need to double check. Okay, recent history.length equals to 10. get the oldest, summary of all the past equals the old. Okay, this part it doesn't need to know how to do, so we need to help out with this part. This is where we write a new prompt. All right. Summarize the
Update the previous summary with recent conversation.
Sorry?
Summarize into one single. Okay, sure, this works too.
Okay, we'll find out. Okay. Wow. Wow. Okay. And do you know what to do next? I think you need to call certain things. Like what did it do? Oh.
You can use the same Ollama function, I hope. Generate response.
Oh, right. Wow. Okay.
Let me just take a quick look of that function. Is it Ollama.chat?
Do you have the latest call?
Yeah, you can just use that.
Wow. Why is summary? Oh, summary is summary of all the past equals to this.
You want to call generate response Ollama instead of Grok.
All right.
Cool. I guess finally we just need to emit.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
okay.
Man. This is game-changing.
I think we should stop being amazed at it by now, but we can't.
So it's like watching a baby grow up.
Actually, this is not quite right. So we need to emit the summary regardless every time something is triggered. Right? Because the endpoint, the MP, I think the NPC worker and the player worker both need them every single time.
Right.
It's quite repetitive, to be honest, but you know.
True.
Oh, did we sort of let me just check one thing real quick. Why is this empty?
You don't need that anymore. You can just delete it.
Wait, why do we? Oh, sorry, this is an NPC worker.
Yeah, this is NPC worker.
And then recent history. Do we actually trim the recent history?
I believe Splice does that if you hover over Splice.
In place element removal. Oh, wow. Wow, that's convenient. I don't like that, but sure.
Yeah.
That's it.
Cool. Let's give it a try.
What are the chances of that it just works in one go? All right. Error.
What's the error? Reading join undefined. So who is using join at the moment?
This.
Recent history could be undefined, I guess.
how can recent history beyond defined?
Let's go back to the summary. Oh, did you update the connections and stuff?
Nope. Wait. That bothers me a little bit. It shouldn't just fail the silently like that. Right? Yeah, it shouldn't. But anyways, from spec, how many connections do we need? Wow, we really need
four in total.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. The first connection is player worker
to the summary.
To the so player has one output, right? Player only has one input and one output. So player doesn't need to specify anything. But summary. Wait,
is it tag or
player? Oh, this is nice. Yes. It's got like static type checking and everything.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Okay.
Same goes for this one to summary spec input. Wow.
Okay.
But we can remove the input this time.
Yep. You don't need that. And then lastly, yes. So the thing we exposed, is still the same thing we player talk.
Same thing. We don't care about the summary. I guess now the input.
But we do have an issue though. I just realized we have an issue. I think both the player and NPC will not by now they will not take turn to talk. They will.
Oh, true. I guess output stream you'll still need. So for example, if the promise the race returns you type player, then you'll have to emit to NPC instead of player.
Let me just hack it super inner.
Oh man.
Hack it so that if like that. Do you like this? How do you like this? It kind of makes sense. It's sort of like they conceptually two agents. They observe the progression of history.
Yeah.
And they actually are free to in theory free to talk anytime, but they're plugged. Plugged is intrinsic out of their own agency. Does that make sense?
That works. The only question would be when you emit the output, did you actually include human player : in the emit output string?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
And if you really want to enforce that,
you can do that.
Yeah. Let me try. So you can do
z.literal. Oh man.
No. It's
z.union z.literal.
Oh yeah. I mean, why not just let me. This the curiosity got on me. Let me try to do something real quick. Zod composition string, because in TypeScript we can do that. Zod composition string. Oh, I don't think native supports that. compose literal. Yeah, probably. Yeah, it doesn't support that. Let me just peek the documentation real quick. Zod string includes. Yep, doesn't. So, by the way, for I think you can probably write some kind of customized parsing.
You can probably do a validation logic in Zod.
All right, let me. I want to enforce the format of this to always have to be of the form or where content is dynamic. In other words, the string must always start with player or NPC. Can I do that with Zod? Oh. Regex. I see. All right, let me actually be very specific. NPC, human player, NPC, human player. You can regex it. Yeah, I'm totally overdoing this. Oh, there's something called refine.
But wouldn't it return true false now?
No, does not always throw an error.
Okay.
Yeah, no, obviously, yeah. Let me just use that actually. By the way, what I was trying to get at is like if you do a type, you can do this. I'm not sure if you're aware of this.
Oh.
You can do this.
I see.
So it's kind of insane. So that's const m message. If you type anything, it's gonna give you an error. It says, "Oh,
I did not know that."
Yes, and then if you do human player, blah, this is okay.
Oh, okay. It's not assignable to type. Is it?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you can do this. And then.
Why is it so complaining? It's not assignable to.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
But if I there's a typo in here, error.
Ooh.
Like TypeScript is like it's so crazy.
It's really powerful.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to see if it can sort of replicate this behavior with Zod. Anyway, if recent history start with NPC, then do not do anything. if recent history start with human player, then don't do anything. All right, let's try. Oh, what do we have now? We got a validation error. Let's see. Erroneous output is
first
data equals the yellow, terminate equals the false. Oh, so yellow. Wait, hold on. Invalid type, expect object, receive string. Oh, right. So our front end code needs to change as well. We can no longer just feed a yellow. We gotta feed this thing properly in here. So the typing of this is wrong, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe this is the time to just do it with shared typing between the front end and the back end.
Probably, yeah.
Okay. So what it needs? What it needs MPC input, which is the input of MPC worker spec, which is summary plus history schema. I'm gonna export this. Move to a new file. And then cut this and put it into just common, like that. All right. And then in here, I'm gonna this is MPC input, so I'm gonna just import this. That should work, right?
I think when you do tab, it doesn't do that for you.
Why not?
Tab is basically an autocomplete from Copilot, but enter is the one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at least that's how it works on my machine. How nested is this?
Very.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Cool. How come it's...
Yep. We got a proper typing definition now. So please help me.
Yellow.
We can actually set a premise here, but I don't want to set a premise. What's the premise?
Summary.
Dark. Just for fun. How do you spell medieval?
Medieval.
Pretty sure that's spelled.
Oh man. MID.
How do you spell medieval? I give up. This is the...
I think it's MIDIEVAL. Do you have to do human player yellow or just... Wait, do you have to supply recent history?
I guess not.
But then how are you passing in the first...
Yeah, you do.
Oh, yeah. But do you need human player? Oh, yeah.
I think so.
Yes. Okay.
All right, let's try this.
Ooh,
What?
the rest of the thing, the output shouldn't have to change unless... Do you have to parse the human player or NPC colon from the output?
I think
when
that's only added in the summary phase. It's not one of the outputs of the NPC nor the player.
Oh, I see. Okay.
All right, so nothing gets output.
Is it resorted?
No. Check this out.
Nice. Adding a note of what was that parenthesis at the end?
It's giving a purpose. It's trying to explain justify.
Oh man. I guess having memory is important. In
But
this
why don't you? Okay, I'm not really doing the very good practice in the sense that, but I think after 2, it just kind of stopped.
Why though? Oh, is it because of the break condition?
Possibly. Okay, let's try this.
Okay. Why does it always have a job completed?
Oh, it's a workflow issue. It shouldn't, but I just haven't got to that. Like workflow jobs always, the control job always ends prematurely, which shouldn't happen.
I see.
I'm gonna fix that. Okay, after 2 conversations, I by the way, I know I thought of a way of fixing this. So instead of this, I just do.
Shouldn't it just be your one-line response?
I'll just do
NPC.
Okay, let me try this. Just to human player.
Okay.
Let's see. If it still keeps adding a parenthesis, then I'll just strip the parenthesis. That's why we need JSON output. What's happening?
Okay, the
that works.
Gone.
Greetings, traveler. The darkness presses upon us all. Have you discovered any new lights? The bonds of friendship and the resilience of the humans.
That is joint versus. Okay.
But then it stops.
So what could be happening? Is it so? What's happening with the continue if we do? So when you copy over that starts with continue to NPC worker, did you change it to NPC?
Yeah, good question. I think I did. In here.
Okay.
Well, okay. At this point, we just need to do super extensive debugging. And by the way, I'd rather sort of try to fix this test so we can actually operate from the test here.
Sure.
Okay, what's the initial input? Player input. Why is the typing not enforced? Oh, okay. So the typing here is not quite enforced. Let me.
I think workflow typing is a known issue.
It's not an issue. It's not going to be implemented.
Okay.
It's so hard. It's too hard. All right.
Yeah.
All right. It's like this. Other than that, we don't need to change anything.
Yeah. You can probably even remove all those commented outline just to keep it clean.
Right. Okay.
Oh, oh, never mind.
Yeah. Well,
Did you start the summary worker in the test case?
you shouldn't need to start any worker now, but it says if it says job started, then yes.
Oh, summary worker. Okay.
Oh, I know why. Because you gotta give the NPC the input, not a human input. Because this is the human says hi. I hope that's the case. Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay.
And it stopped.
So basically, what happens when the player emits the output?
So the player emits the output.
Mhm.
Let's do some debugging here. I'll just do debugging console logging. So I really want to do like a breakpoint and all that.
Output dot emit.
Oh, have you seen how breakpoint works?
Yeah.
Oh, you have. Okay.
Output
I
dot
don't
emit.
replicate here. So let me just console log everything. Before I do that, let me commit this.
Right. So from a workflow perspective, we can emit two outputs into another worker, right?
Yeah, I don't think anything's. Yeah, I think it's gonna figure out the whole.
So when you emit the output, how does the summary worker knows which stream is it getting from again?
It uses promise.race.
Input stream. Right. I guess my question is when you do the output.emit, does it automatically tag NPC to the output emitted from NPC worker?
It just indiscriminately push it into the conversation history like that.
No. I guess my question is for your summary worker, you have two input streams, two different input tags.
Right.
Oh, you specified that in the connection, right?
I think so. I got 4 edges in here. Player, summary, NPC, summary player, summary NPC.
Okay.
So yeah, let's just do debugging. Just console log the shit out of everything. The nice thing though is that once I've written once, it understands me. All right, and then doing the same thing here. There's got to be a better way of doing this, but that's why we need a visualization tool, right?
Yes.
Which will be out soon. Okay, I've logged everything. Let's just check out like what's going on here.
By the way, in that splice, is there a condition where if the history is less than 5, do nothing?
Let's make this play this and see. So summer worker goes the output, and player worker got the input,
Okay.
and player worker responds, and then nothing happens. So player worker did response. Player worker has the input.
Right.
Did respond. Summer worker goes the so which means the output of the player worker was not captured in the input of the summary worker. This was not captured. And let me check the previous summary worker input. So summary worker input, it did get it from NPC once. So in other words, when NPC responds, summary worker can get it. But when player responds, nothing. Does that make sense?
I think you've the way we did exposure, that shouldn't have anything to do with it, I hope.
Player input, it's fully symmetric, right?
Right. So they still only have one stream, so we can just map default to something else, so that works.
So I hope it's just some kind of typo somewhere. Let me see.
Player.
If it's something much deeper, then yeah, we probably can't finish in the live stream. Summary worker input. So input is not. All right. So
Input player dot next value. Human player value R.
let me try this way. If I do the reverse. Okay. If I give it to NPC, and then instead of feeding it to the NPC, I feed it to the human. Okay.
Right.
And let's see what happens. Player worker input. Player got input. Player worker response. Summary got the input. Summary worker goes the output. And the player worker got the input and got stuck.
So the player worker got its own input almost. So summary worker emitted human player. So player worker was expecting something that starts with NPC.
Wait, why is player worker input like in this format? That's weird.
Yeah, I think there's something wrong with the race condition, maybe. So player worker was expecting, yeah, see, on line 96, that satisfied the continue condition. So for some reason, when it should be passed to the player worker, the last history.
I mean, this is correct. Player worker stays silent because this is the last one was human player.
Right, but in this case,
I think the problem is it never got passed to NPC.
right. So maybe it shouldn't use promised or race condition. So the hack you did here starts with in each individual worker. Maybe your summary
Oh, right.
needs different input-output streams.
So promise not race, like,
It did its job.
Is it going to drop anything? Yeah. Okay. I think it's going to drop, actually. It's going to actually drop. Yeah. No, I see. I got it.
Yeah.
It's going to drop one of them, and they're gone forever.
I think so.
All right. So what do you do?
You'll have to do it the manual way, where you have, I think you currently have 1 output, 2 input, right?
I think
So
yeah.
you basically need two for await NPC input, for await player input.
Okay, let me think about this. Okay. Really?
I believe you'll have to do it in the way I did my test case initially.
All right, fine. Let's do it that way.
Unfortunately.
I was hoping for something more clever.
True. But at least you can just autocomplete.
It's a mess right now. I think the input, like the
NPC.
the AI is very confused.
True.
And I have to repeat. Damn.
Let's just make it work, and then we can always consolidate the code.
But it's not elegant. It's like, oh.
One thing at a time.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
What is it complaining?
Why do we have a recent history in here? And then we have a recent history. Wait. No. No, this is not right.
So the input from NPC is just a string, right? Data. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And then similarly in your emit. Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
I can ask Copilot to make it more elegant for me. Oh, gosh. It's crazy. Okay, I can do this, right? No, I can't. Okay.
I'm not sure.
I think the more elegant thing is to use observable and merge two streams, but I'm gonna do that later.
Okay. Yeah, I think you just need to copy.
Right. I do remember I have this protection mechanism. I was afraid that the job is gonna end prematurely.
Yeah.
Then I realized I have a protection mechanism, very sophisticated protection mechanism, so that if it can detect if any of these are still waiting for the output,
yeah,
it's not going to quit.
Okay.
I hope so. Maybe I need to make a constant of this, but wow. All right, that should do. I think.
Yeah. I hope so. Let's do the test case first.
Nope.
What? Terminated? Oh, I think you still need so the second for loop, maybe you have to remove that async wrapper and keep it running. Is that it?
Let's see. I see what you mean. No, maybe you're right.
Yeah, I remember if I put both in the async wrapper, it will just complete the whole
But
program.
it shouldn't. It really shouldn't.
What's happening?
So summary worker output and player got an input. NPC still doesn't get input.
I thought it sent to both.
Right. So maybe
it's only sent once, is it?
Well, if that's the case, then we have a bigger issue.
So the multiple subscriber model is not working?
I hope not. I hope not. I do remember, like in the past cases, it is totally fully capable of subscribing to two things.
What if you just do 2 output streams from summary worker?
All right, for now, let's try this. So I have 2 output streams for NPC.
You can just do, does it have to be different names from inputs?
Like you said, 2 outputs for the summary worker, right?
Right. Anyway, let's go to connections, and in the output, oh wait, I think I'll have to do output, right?
In here.
Yes. For player, maybe just double checking a bit. So the one that's receiving input from NPC, it should be for player.
Doesn't matter because they're identical.
It still have to be.
Wait.
I think so. This is all good if you scroll down to the summary worker emit output.
Right. That one needs to change.
Yeah. Output. This is for player.
Wait, the first one's for NPC, isn't it?
But this is reading input from NPC, right?
Oh, right. Yeah, I feel this is still kind of complicated.
True. I hope it works.
Oh, so this is for NPC. All right. So it is some fundamental issue, like somewhere down there. I got to debug.
Yeah, but at least the overall program is working.
All right, let's wait till 5 and wait for the summarization. So that hasn't been tested yet.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, they're right. The critique is right. They're too agreeable.
So it will have to accumulate till 10 to generate summary, right?
Right.
Yes. Okay. Do we have any watchers on YouTube?
Nope, 0.
Interesting.
Absolute 0. We didn't publish it today, so we'll see next time.
No worries.
Okay, I think it's doing some kind of summarization now.
Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10?
Let's not waste more time. You would. Oh, in the previous conversation, the human expressed hope in the midst of darkness, and the PC offered assistance and shared the incomplete map as potential lead towards finding the source of light.
Wait,
Wow.
so who the hell is doing, who is saying that summary? Is it actually spit out?
Yeah.
Like,
anything from Ollama is spit out
oh, okay.
as a stream. Okay, let me keep this running for a little bit. I want to see does the next summary and see how it works. Okay, so in the previous conversation, in the and banishing the darkness, that's not an overlap detail anywhere. Okay, so next time we gotta get their asses moving. Sorry. this is, oh my god.
Yes. But I'm glad we figured out some sort of implementation for memory, even though it's not completely optimized yet.
Right. I think it's summarizing now. Oh no, not yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. In the previous conversation, discussed their shared goal of finding the source of light in the midst of darkness. The NPC offered an incomplete map, blah blah blah. In the recent conversation's history, both the human player and NPC expressed excitement about uncovering the secret of the map, believing it could reveal the hidden power of artifacts and aid their quest of a light. They agreed to continue working. Oh yeah, it works.
Okay.
So finally, why don't they do anything? Oh, I okay. Let's reason about it, like maybe next time. We should think about like why are they not doing anything? Because I think it's a lack of, you force them to have a conversation. That's the problem. So there's no action.
Maybe. So technically, they're doing what you ask them to do, which is having a conversation. It's just maybe if you somehow tell them your conversation goal is to make a plan to conquer something, then correspondingly, you'll have to keep track of goal all the time throughout all the conversation. And then also you'll need a topic summarizer to evaluate, or not a topic summarizer, but a critique to evaluate how close they are to achieving the goal. That's something we don't have.
Hence the agent framework.
Yeah.
Indeed, traveler. That's fascinating. Long hour. Oh wow, they started telling stories. Holy cow.
And all of this is generated real time. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Of the hero who overcame the great test odds, I'm intrigued by their strength and determination. The hero you seek is named. Wow, the story. Story.
Nice.
Against all odds, she led her people to victory during a time of great darkness, and her unwavering spirit and the strategic mind are still celebrated today. Yeah, this would you like to know more? That this we need to change. This is weird. Okay, let's.
This whole conversation is really logical as well, considering we're not using OpenAI.
This is not OpenAI. This is Mistral.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, sorry. What's the
The
comment?
quality of the conversation is really good.
That's Mistral. Come on, I haven't used the Mixtral yet.
Okay.
Wow. Hear more about her daring tactics. Okay, I'm just gonna wait for the first summary and then I'm gonna kill it. Used her knowledge of the terrain to her advantage, launching surprise attacks and setting up traps for the enemy. Her quick thinking and adaptability proved invaluable during the conflict. Yeah, this. Would you like to hear more? We need to change it. The NPC greeted the human player, sensing their relentless spirits and offering wisdom about the land and its people. The human player expresses their desire to learn and explore, leading the NPC to share tales of ancient heroes who faced the great trials with courage and unity, inspiring the community with their perseverance. The human player asks for more information for specific heroes.
Oh my gosh, my head is in each one of Game of Thrones right now.
Oh my god!
Boom, 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 boom.
This is the Game of Thrones. I haven't watched Game of Thrones.
Yeah, just if you ever watch it, only watch the first 4 seasons.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, just whatever you do, don't watch the last season.
All right.
Cool.
Okay. Let me end the live stream right now because
Yep.
I think we achieved our goal today.
Yes.
Just gonna but then uncovered a bigger issue, which is something still buggy inside of the core.
Workflow, yes.
That's a good thing.
It's good.
And by the way, I'm not even running this on the CUDA, like the 3090, my 3090. This is my MacBook M1.
Seriously?
Yeah. If I run this on CUDA, it'll be a lot faster.
Yeah.
If you try it on your computer, it'll be a lot faster than mine.
Okay.
Okay, I think it's summarizing again. Let me just wait a little bit. Oh no. Wow, they're having a conversation. Okay.
Nice.
Let me end the live stream for now. Thanks for watching. I think we have some really good content. If we have like tens of thousands of subscribers, like people will be like, "Wow, this is cool," and all that.
Oh, really? People already left comments?
I mean, if you have like 1,000 base subscriber or something.
Oh.
I saw today there was some guy who was live coding. He has like, I think 70,000 follower.
Oh man.
And there's like over 100 people watching him code.
Holy cow.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, bye everyone. See you next time. Next time, what we're gonna do next time? We're gonna do
God mode.
Yes, we do God mode. Yeah, we definitely do. That's the second most voted thing in our Discord channel right now.
Cool.
Okay, bye everyone.
Thanks.
All right.